this time, as you know, we have just witnessed a crazy, crazy transfer window. I think none of the football fans in the world expected what we have seen, where so many top players were just moving from one club to the other, and it was indeed a major spectacle. So today, to discuss everything, obviously, you know that we are a channel which is mostly focused on the English Premier League, but you cannot absolutely get away by not talking about what has happened in world football. So to discuss everything in the transfer window, we have Harsh, who has been a regular on the channel, a Liverpool fanatic, and today's special guest you've already seen him on the channel. We have Neil, the master YouTuber, the Manchester United fan who is on cloud nine, of course, with the arrival of some great players at the club. So before anything, guys, welcome Neil. How are you doing? How's things back home in Kolkata?
First of all, Shubham and Harsh, it's a pleasure to be back at Cricfootz. And it's like, don't tell me like a master YouTuber. I'm on the same learning curve as well. And you people have supported me so much, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for Cricfootz. I started my journey, especially with you guys coming onto the channel. Lately, we have not had time for proper collabs, but I assure you, you'll get a lot of collab in the near future as well as the Premier League season gets underway. And as we see Cristiano Ronaldo back in the Premier League, so Cloud9 is indeed a phase right now that is running through the emotions and the veins for us Manchester United fans. As you asked, back home at Kolkata, it's always either hot or too hot, so nothing in between. They're expecting a bit of Manchester rain very soon so that we can sing our hearts out and dance Viva Ronaldo to the tunes of the rain. That's how I want to put it.
Absolutely. I think the excitement is pretty evident there, and obviously it should be. I think it has been a very happening few days at Manchester United. Also, we have Harsh. Harsh, how are you doing? I know it has been a quiet window for Liverpool, but overall, how are you doing in terms of the Premier League and in general sense?
It was a quiet window definitely for Liverpool fans, but it was fun to see all the circus that was happening outside. It was awesome to see United fans losing their mind when Ronaldo was linked to City. It was awesome to see Barca fans losing their mind when Messi started leaving. So it was just fun to see the chaos.
He just wants to watch the world burn.
But yeah, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Absolutely, guys. So we'll quickly dive into it. Basically, what we'll do is we'll try to discuss the major transfers which happened in the Premier League, obviously the top teams, and then we'll move on to few transfers which happened in the world of football, and obviously would like to know your thoughts on that. I'll start off with Neil. Obviously, your club, Manchester United. Now, you can say that it was not a complete window where you missed out on a CDM, but overall, I mean, look at the players you've got right now in that squad, like Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, and to top everything up there, Cristiano Ronaldo back at the hood. What's the feeling in terms of Manchester United? I mean, you speak to a lot of fans. You have a lot of fans on your channel, and you have a lot of colleagues and friends. What's the feeling? Is it like this signing has made you believe that we are going for the league rather than just top four and a trophy? You know.
Shubham, Manchester United, to put it very simply, Manchester United is at the moment a very toxic fan base for obvious reasons, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the actual Manchester United faithfuls, like I like to classify myself within that because I like to scratch my own back, that you all know. But other than that, you see, if I said in various podcasts that I have did, that if it's Cristiano Ronaldo is available, you go on and bloody sign him. He is the best goal scorer in Italy. Romelu Lukaku goes for 100 odd million. Cristiano Ronaldo scored approximately 10 goals more than him at this age. Like, I did not follow Cristiano Ronaldo last term in Juventus, but when I was seeing the goals he scored, like, there were always three men on him. And equate that in Premier League terms, if you put three men within a team that has Bruno Fernandes, that has Paul Pogba on fire, Rashford and Jadon Sancho yet to become in the team, the game is already won over there. Already won over there. Personally, I would rate, if you've signed Cristiano, that's a 10 out of 10 window. Yes, people would say that we are a midfielder short, but tell me, Shubham, You don't need 11 world-class players to win the league. You always, like a Jisung Park, there was always someone at the team, John O'Shea, if you remember.
Yeah.
They were never world-class. They were very good workhorses for the team. As far as Fred is concerned, a lot of negativity has been thrown around Fred, Ollie of not playing Van de Beek. Fred always plays good with Scott McTominay. Fred is not a defensive midfielder. He has to cover because people saying Matic playing against Wolves, that would have been a disaster because his legs against Adama Traores would have been complete mismatch. Then these United fans would have been saying you would have played Fred because we are in a total chaos at this moment of time. Yes, we could have signed Ruben Neves. Would have signed Declan Rice. We had the money. Genuinely, with all the amortization deals that we've done, we genuinely had the money. Could have. But definitely, if last year, if you'd see Jadon Sancho was outpriced and decided to wait and we got him for around 30% less, that is absolutely insane. You could talk about Rafael Varane coming into the team. The defense has been short, and we saw the gelling between Harry Maguire, who's already classified his status as a top class defender in the Euros. The defense is sorted. Midfield, if Scott McTominay, whom I think is a changed man after the Euros, midfield is more or less sorted, and the attack speaks for itself. So overall feeling, if I exclude the toxicity about Ole out, all the Ole out brigade, all the Pogba out brigade, and whatnot, like I don't want to divulge into that. But if you ask my feelings, I'm a bit nervous because you get this tingling sensation when you can just smell the title. United, the way they grinded the victory against Wolves, fingers crossed. It's high time Manchester United have been in the pinnacle of the Premier League, and with Cristiano Ronaldo, it just puts that team that good to be challenging on all fronts, absolutely on all fronts.
Oh my God. Yes. One thing which I would like to highlight there was that fans sometimes become very emotional, and I think we have to be realistic sometimes because even Sir Alex has won with teams which did not have all 11 good players. You have played with some. You have to churn out performances from average players sometimes. I mean, the Darren Fletchers, I remember, like you guys had pretty ordinary players there, but Sir Alex knew how to get the best out of them.
Absolutely.
Harsh, what do you think about the whole Manchester United? So obviously being a rival, huge rival of Manchester United, being a Liverpool fan, what did you think about the whole Ronaldo no, I would not call it a saga. It happened actually really quickly. I mean, it turned out to be just a 10-hour thing from City to Manchester United. So, were you happy?
Why would he be happy? Come on.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy in the sense that I was happy when City were buying him. I thought he would have been useless to City. I think Mendes played a blinder in first smoking out City and then smoking out United. But if you look at it on paper, and if you tell rival fans that if you had told them 3 months ago that United are going to sign Sancho, Varane, and Ronaldo, no rival fan would have been particularly happy with United's transfer window. And let me tell you, no rival fan is happy. I mean, Ronaldo and Messi, they still have a lot to give in terms of the quality that they produce. They have a lot in terms of being role models to young players at the club. So imagine a Sancho or a Greenwood, looking up to someone like Ronaldo every day in training, who is a freak in terms of an athlete. So there are a lot of positives, and they almost had the perfect window. I would say, if you compare the top clubs. In terms of, I agree somewhat to Neil's point because Liverpool's title-winning team 2 years ago, they had a great attack, they had a great defense. The midfield, they were essentially water carriers and they were pressers. There was no some creative spark. Like in that sense, actually, Pogba and Bruno are great creative sparks which United have. So Liverpool actually won a title and a Champions League with an average midfield, if you consider, with a Henderson, Milner, and a Wijnaldum. So they have a world-class attack, they have a world-class defense. Goalkeeper, maybe, sometimes great, sometimes not so great. And midfield also maybe sometimes great, not so great, but definitely a title can be won with that squad. So if there were 3 signings that other teams would have taken notice, they've done that. So, credit to them in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, see, even I'm an Arsenal fan. I've never been happy with Manchester United spending a lot, but somehow this Ronaldo signing has made me feel, oh, that's some really good business done by Manchester United. I think it was the perfect cue. Which, see, because some signings lift you as a squad, I think that's what will be happening at Manchester United, and you can actually see them winning quite a few matches which they were not winning in the previous season. So I have high hopes from them now after the Ronaldo signing, and let's see what they do, because it's going to be crazy on the Newcastle game. I think you guys play at home. Oh my god! Just imagine the reception. I think it's gonna be something great. Moving on to Arsenal. Now, this is a club which has been at the top of banter on social media. I think the most talked about club, especially with the money they have spent, and the signings which they have made, underwhelming, to be really honest. No big names. I think Arsenal, one thing which Arsenal has not done in this window is get a marquee player. I think a signing like a James Maddison would have been really good if you consider the present state of the club. I would have considered him more than Odegaard, but let's dive into it, guys. 6 players bought in, all in the age profile of under 23. Neil, what do you think about Arsenal? See, it's been a torrid start. Let's be honest. Mikel Arteta has not been helped with the situation, and also COVID hitting their major players, etc. Do you see Arsenal bouncing back? Because then they play Norwich, Burnley, and Spurs. Are these 3 games gonna be deciding factor for Arteta's future, or do you think they will just keep on giving him game time at least till Christmas?
I think Arteta has already gone. He's lost the dressing room. Like I did the watch along. You were there, Shubham. Like at least even after banter, you feel bad for a club, and that is where, as a fan, you feel pissed off that you don't want your bloody rival sympathy. Come on, Arsenal. I do have a soft spot for Arsenal because of their legacy, because of their history, and I have very good Arsenal friends who actually understand football and don't bark off enough like other new modern day fans. But let's face it, Shubham, it is something very disturbing to me. Players, at least if you don't want to play for the manager, play for the bloody badge. That is what is most important. And you don't do so, no. And you were seeing that the midfield was walking. There are pockets in arms walking. City was, you saw Edison with the disrespect holding on to the ball. There was no press. There was not a single person who was interested to press the ball. I saw Emil Smith Rowe only, who was driving Obama, pockets in hands. Odegaard, okay, he just came in. But then again, you have to play for the badge. You have to bloody run. You have to press. You have to be on tandem with your team. That's the basic thing of football. Even if you have no talent, which Arsenal does not have talent, they have plenty of talent. But they just don't want to play for that manager. I don't know Arteta, who I have so much respect for, and banters aside, I have so much respect for that person. He's a very good he's a very good professor of the game, somewhat in the mold that I have huge respect for. Arsene Wenger, he's similar of that sort, understands the club, understands the philosophy. I think the decisions being taken at Arsenal Football Club are horrendous at this moment in time. Firstly, the Ozil saga, that was unnecessary. Now Ozil taking digs, you don't want that essentially. Other than that, you sign Gabriel Magalhaes for 30 million, Ben White 50 million, 80 million in defense. William Saliba was bought in to partner Gabriel, now he's gone. He bought in Willian. Banter era signing, I don't know why that was brought in. First match, 4 assists, and the whole season, nothing.
Yeah.
Then again, you signed 50 million Thomas Partey, 30 million Odegaard. Number 10, you were lacking. Odegaard is a decent enough player. But where do you, Arsenal always feels like a jigsaw puzzle, never to be complete. Like one piece is always here and there or missing. I know that they have the players to not be absolutely in the bottom of the table. The Premier League is so competitive, man. It's so difficult to get in the top 4. But at least the Europa League spaces and pushing to top 4. But then again, there's so many wrong decisions taken at Arsenal, and I don't know inside what is happening. But something is very, very wrong. Either that is the management, either that is the club staff, either that is the players, either that is a mix of everything. But do get it sorted. I want the original top 4 back, man. Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Everybody wants that back. Everybody is living in nostalgia, and everybody wants that back.
Absolutely. Great passion shown there from a rival fan. I think that's what you want. You want the Arsenal back, because the Premier League needs a strong Arsenal team, as many would say. Let's jump onto the comments, guys. We have some really nice comments from the guys in here. Jagrit says, players like Partey, White, Pepe, Laka coming in will make a lot of difference. I think he's talking about the experience, which many say that the Arsenal team lacks. Arsenal bought overpriced players with no performance guarantee, with little to no resale value. This is absolutely a correct point again. Harsh, I'll just come on to you. See, Mikel Arteta has been an assistant manager at Manchester City. He has seen us getting thrashed against City from the
Right.
sidelines.
Right.
Why do you think a sane man will approach a job like this? Okay, a job like this, which is too big. I mean, he has never had a real coaching experience. I sometimes wonder, why would you take a job which is so difficult, because it really needs a lot of experience to clear up a mess. Ole has done well, still he faces a lot of criticism. Why do you think Arteta has come into this job, and what is he doing wrong? Because let's be honest, he has won the FA Cup, and that actually put a lot of credit in his bank. Otherwise, any other club, if he loses to Villarreal in a Europa League, any top club, he loses his job.
Right.
Why do you think Arteta approached Arsenal, and what is he doing wrong overall?
Listen, we mentioned about Ole. Ole actually has managed clubs like Molde and Cardiff before.
Exactly.
Even though
Yeah.
Cardiff he has not been successful, but he has had some kind of experience in managing a squad. Uh, Steven Gerrard, a former player, again is doing that with Rangers. The two examples that I can take was Frank Lampard and Mikel Arteta. I think two ex-players on their way to grooming and managing a big club, and it's not gone well for either of them that much. Mikel Arteta, let me tell you, Neil said it very rightly. There's a good squad there with Arsenal. There is bags of talent. You have Aubameyang, Lacazette, you have Martinelli, you have Nicolas Pepe. They may not have performed well recently, but there is talent there. There's talent in the midfield. There's talent in the defense also. You've made a keeper signing. I don't know how that will turn out. But a player working out or not, I really believe that it depends on the manager and the coach and how they get the best out of that. You may get the best out of a slightly less talented player also, and it can reap dividends. So I think it's been a case of a job coming too early for Arteta. And here, you can beg, the question as to why the Arsenal board, or what are they doing? The people up there, what kind of decisions they are taking. I don't have a problem with the squad. I think I'm siding with Neil on this, that they might have not stopped playing for the manager. Yes, they still need to play for the badge, but I think a change of manager will happen maybe at the end of the seasons, maybe in mid-season if things go like this.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting. Whenever a club is down, it's very interesting to see how they bounce back. They have got a really big game against Norwich City at home, and then they play Burnley, Tottenham next. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see if Arsenal get 9 out of 9 there. I think things will be positive and move forward in the right direction. So that's pretty much about Arsenal. Let's move on to the European champions, Chelsea. Now, Neil, obviously, Champions League winners, it's easy to attract talent. Romelu Lukaku is back in the hood again. I mean, we have seen him play. We know what he can do. He has done that to Arsenal already. What a debut that was. I think he was playing with the Arsenal defenders, especially Pablo Mari. I mean, he had a really poor day that day. Overall, what do you think about Chelsea's signings? They look really ambitious, and many are tipping them to go on and win the title. What do you think about their overall business?
Romelu Lukaku, initially you can say they might have done without him, but that's the ambition of Roman Abramovich. He wants the cream, wants the best. And none other than Romelu Lukaku has torn it up in the Serie A. You cannot compare him, you cannot compare anybody with Cristiano Ronaldo, but Romelu Lukaku is one of the top strikers in the world. And main difference, what I saw from him at United under Jose Mourinho and Italy, he's become slim. He's become fitter. And now he's a monster. Like, he has so good change of balance. His first touch error is that you cannot take that out of his game. He has molded his game into such a way that he changes the direction. He's changing direction so fast. The shift of balance on a tactical level is immense. And him playing with a back three, what Chelsea want, he played the same with Inter, got success. He plays the same with Belgium, gets success. Essentially, he plays through the right, cutting in on his left foot. You saw in the Belgium one where there was a false sign in the form of Kevin De Bruyne was inside the box more often than not. Lukaku coming through the right in that defensive transition. Similarly, it is the same thing at Chelsea where Kai Havertz played that role, and that was the same at Inter Milan where either Nico Barella or Lautaro Martinez used to play, depending on where they started. So you point in Timo Werner over there, who, if we remember, was banging in goals with the support of Yusuf Poulsen or a target man. So that is the combination of Havertz, Warner, and a Lukaku. I don't want to see as a rival fan. I don't want to see because Warner has already scored in the international break, a very well taken finish. And if he starts getting goals, Warner. I predicted Warner if they did not sign Lukaku. I predicted Warner to be the top scorer because Tuchel absolutely will use Warner to his devastating best because a two striker system with a target man and with a runner, third man runner, and a third man runner in the form of Kai Havertz will absolutely be deadly. Let's wait and see what options they have because they have a lot considering Pulisic and Ziyech cannot even get a game at this point of time. So a definite very good squad strength. They have added Saul to that as well. So I don't know if Saul, an injury-prone Saul, improves what they have in the European midfielder of the year and the European player of the year, Jorginho and Conte. But Saul adds a very good depth, a very tactical depth as well. In terms of matches where they'll dominate, they'll put off a defender, they play with two and they'll play with Saul, with Jorginho backing up as a sweeper. So I'm afraid, even with Ronaldo, they are a very, very good competition. And I think it'll be neck and neck between. If I'm unbiased, still I'm saying it will be neck and neck between Manchester United and Chelsea. City with I think they'll suffer without a proper goal scorer. They'll bang their annual 5 goals against Norwich and Burnley. Against top teams, we've seen them exposed, especially against Chelsea. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not yet lost Pep Guardiola on the Premier League. Manchester United have strengthened so much. They have a proven goal scorer. They'll bang in the goals like the deep blocks that we used to face, and Cristiano Ronaldo is the perfect answer for that. So where do you mark Manchester United? Chelsea similarly, where do you mark Chelsea? Whom do you mark at Chelsea? Lukaku takes away two men. Mason Mount is there to create havoc. Havertz running in behind like he waltzing in the park. A bit of Ozil in him, and he scores very crucial goals, and he's becoming a very clutch player. So all in all, I'll not count out Liverpool as well. Ibrahim Konate and Van Dijk are like two main signings, and what I predicted is them going into a transitional back three with Fabinho already having played in the defense position with Thiago and probably someone like Naby Keita over there, and with Trent and Robertson properly bombing forward. Like there's a rush that this Premier League season is going to be something. Well, not for Arsenal fans. So sorry, Shubham.
Absolutely. I would say you have summed up Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester City pretty well out there. I think you have covered those clubs really well because they have not done a lot of business, but they have fixed gaps which they needed to. Obviously, Manchester City with the big signing of Jack Grealish. I mean, many are saying that he's overpriced, but when Pep wants someone, again, it has proved that he doesn't get everything what he wants. He doesn't get Kane when he wants, but yeah, and he also did not get Ronaldo. But talking about the other teams, Harsh, it's the Premier League now. With the TV money, almost every club gets a lot of money to spend on transfers. Are you impressed with Aston Villa's summer transfer window? I think they have done some pretty good business out there. I think smart business too.
I think outside, the top 5-6 clubs, I think Aston Villa's transfers have, made people take note, and they've kind of outspent quite a lot of top teams. They've outspent Liverpool in that sense. So you do have your major transfers from Chelsea and United, which have caught the eye, but signing Leon Bailey, signing Emiliano Buendia, and Danny Ings, the most surprise transfer, which happened in less than 2 hours, probably, are great signings. And, they might just have replaced Jack Grealish really well from that, at least on paper. It begs to be seen how that transpires over the season. They also got Ashley Young back on a free transfer. So some experience and old head there. So Aston Villa's transfer window really looks great. A bit disappointed with Leicester. I don't know. They had some, I thought they'll make some really good signings, but on paper they've really not attracted the kind of players that they. Essentially, it was keeping a hold of players like Madison and Tielemans rather than getting new players. So I think Aston Villa might just overtake or give fight to Leicester, and the other team that's really cracking on is West Ham. So maybe Shubham, you and Neil can talk about West Ham.
Absolutely. The comments are flying in. Sam says Moyes has done some excellent business. Neil, I would straight away go with you. I mean, David Moyes, after departing Manchester United, has not been one of the greatest managers in terms of the club, which is he has got a sack in Sunderland. He left you guys, and a pretty rocky affair or rocky journey he has had after leaving Everton, to be really honest, where he was very successful. Everton days are back at West Ham. What do you think? I mean, he is doing pretty well. They're already in Europe. They're building a good squad there. There are some really nice youngsters. They have got hold of Declan Rice now. Do you think they can hit Europe again this season?
Absolutely, because you see, David Moyes is a top manager, but the pressure that comes with being a Manchester United manager, especially replacing someone of a legendary cult status, probably some would even argue to say he's the best manager of all time with the legacy that he has had spanning 26 years. It's very difficult to top that, and everybody would have found that. So David Moyes, I think, was a very good scapegoat for Manchester United fans to actually come back to reality. But then again, he's a top manager. Take nothing away from it. He has but there is always would be a gap between a middle club fighting for the champions and a champion team staying a champion. It comes with always expectations and responsibilities, which I think David Moyes is not cut out for that. But then again, at West Ham last season with Lingard tearing up the Premier League, 9 goals, probably 9 goals and 11 assists, if I'm not wrong, in half a season, sparked West Ham to life. The main thing that what I heard that Declan Rice has rejected 3 contract offers since he's no Mbappe, though that did not hit because he wants to make that move. Because Jack Grealish, he's already 26. He realized that if he delayed any more, his chances would have been gone. So this was the ideal season to let him go. So Aston Villa, as Harsh already talked about, dealt with him really well. Unlike Tottenham, who blew the market trying to replace Gareth Bale, but this is calculated business from Aston Villa. Similarly, West Ham have signed, other than the 2 players that they have signed for 60 odd million, which adds to their team, keeping hold of Declan Rice for this season, because I had a lot of rumors on deadline day. I have a lot of sources who confirmed that United wanted Declan Rice on an amortization deal, but West Ham wanted cash. Straight up, West Ham wanted cash. So United, if you follow Simon Stone, if you follow not Craig Norwood, he does not tweet anymore or those rumors. Simon Stone just confirmed 2 hours before that United transfer window is done. So even I quoted that there was a midfielder in progress, which was probably not Ruben Neves, his third or fourth down the pecking order. And United decided to stick with McTominay, and with the international break they had and with the matches coming up, so they decided to stick with him. But essentially, I think Declan Rice is gone next season. So where West Ham would go from there, I think they'll retain in Europe. Spurs have started really well. They signed Brian Gill, Christian Romero, top class signings, and they've 9 points from three games. How much better can it get? 1-0 wins, positive goal difference, yet to concede a goal, smashing it up the top. Dele Alli back in form with a new hairdo. I definitely think this Premier League, Shubham, it's very difficult to actually predict the Premier League. You and I both have been accustomed to crazy seasons, and this has been a crazy transfer window. So you never know what pops up, which team clicks, which team doesn't click. So with probably maybe 10 games into the season, we'll have a better. Manchester United after like 8 games were 10th. They finished second. Liverpool were first. They scraped in fourth, unless Alisson decided to head in a goal. It's that crazy. You never know. Like the 5th team to the 11th team, the difference was just 5 points. In which other league do you get that?
Absolutely. I think even the dogs out there are very entertained with the serious transfer craziness which we have seen. I think excellent points there, Neil. I think even Tottenham keeping hold of Harry Kane, buying Emerson Royal from Barcelona, and obviously Christian Romero to solidify that defense is pretty good business. Sam, there, I will just quickly show his comment there. Spurs are toothless tigers without Kane and Son up front. Losing either of them could fought their position. Absolutely. Signing on to Son for a brand new contract, even that was a pretty good signing, I would say, which was just at the start of the transfer window. Thanks, guys. I think we have covered most of the signings there. Apart from these clubs, I think Crystal Palace have made some interesting signings, especially in terms of solidifying their team. Patrick Vieira as the new manager will be really interesting. They have had a tough start, but I think they will do on pretty well.
What do you guys think are your signings of the season? And maybe even the chat can put in their signings of the season.
Yeah, I would obviously ask Neil, who do you think was the best signing of the summer in the Premier League?
In terms, like, if you ask on marketability terms, there's only one name that comes, that is Cristiano Ronaldo. But in terms of applicability, I think Aston Villa, I never would have thought would attract. I'm very sorry for the dogs. They're actually excited. So someone asked them. Sorry to the viewers that I have 7 of them. I can make a football bloody team out of it. But attracting the likes of Leon Bailey, and they'll still play better than Arsenal. But Leon Bailey being attracted to Aston Villa, I never would have thought some club of that stature, without any disrespect, signing someone from a top status of a German club. That is for me the signing of the season in terms of actual applicability. United have the finances to pull off all the deals. Aston Villa, that is like I say proudly, that is the pull of the Premier League. Money or no money, everybody wants to play in the best league of the world. And even Emerson Royal, who put up the Barcelona shirt for 25 days before, and Joan Laporta be like, yo, he's here to stay. And 25 days later, he's a Tottenham player.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you ask me, Harsh, I think Rafael Varane is a great signing for Manchester United. I think that's United defense, even with Harry Maguire, I thought it was always sticky and slippery. I think Varane gives the much needed experience there, and it will be really difficult to break the United defense now because they have some great quality experience. And I think that's a signing which you need to actually bolster your defense. And at the end of the day, as Sir Alex said, defense wins your championship. So that's what I would say. Apart from that, Harsh, we have covered most of the teams in the Premier League. If we actually talk about this transfer window, we can go on for hours and hours, but we are short on time. Harsh, I will straight away put it to you. Apart from the Premier League, there have been some crazy business even outside that. Sergio Ramos leaving Real Madrid. We have Messi leaving Barcelona. Even the craziness still goes on. We were just discussing Pjanic joining Besiktas. So apart from the Premier League, which transfer stood out to you? Obviously, the big ones were there. Any other signing which actually caught your eye?
I mean, the first thing you can think about is PSG's signing
Squad.
spree, literal signing spree. Obviously, Lionel Messi, and to see Messi probably going to play with Neymar again, with Mbappe, it looks like now for at least a season. And with the signings of Hakimi, with Wijnaldum, with Sergio Ramos, it's going to be so fun to see Messi and Ramos in the same team. So PSG, it looks like they have only one thing in mind, which is winning the Champions League. So they came close last time, but I think that if you don't win the Champions League with that squad, questions need to be asked. Just like we say that, if you're not going to win the league with Ronaldo, questions need to be asked. So PSG has now huge pressure. Apart from that, interesting window for Barcelona. Sergio Aguero, Memphis Depay, coming on as free signings. Garcia from City. So we all know the financial mess that Barcelona has been in. Interesting window from them in terms of signings. Madrid, I think they've been surprisingly sly in their transfer window. They've started building on youth, and it's clear that they want Mbappe and Haaland going forward. So it's evident as to how they're building their squad and in what shape or size. Tammy Abraham to Roma. I can see the comments.
Mhm.
Crazy transfer. I think he'll do well. I think he's a good striker. That's an Italian club paying around 35 million pounds. That Chelsea are the kings of selling players.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to selling players. So I'm not surprised that Chelsea sold Tammy Abraham to an Italian club for 35
Mhm.
million, whereas clubs like United have to do loan deals to Inter Milan and never get money from them. So these are some of the interesting signings. Neil, what do you think?
One signing that has definitely caught my eye is Marcel Sabitzer to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, for the greater time that I remember, never had a proper number 10, and Marcel Sabitzer actually solved that problem. Thomas Muller, you can say he's a number 10, he's a striker, he is a specialist in different positions. He can do a job here and there, but a proper number 10, like Marcel Sabitzer, is one of the linchpin in RB Leipzig's race road to triumph. I feel bad for RB Leipzig. They were second last time. They nicked their best defender, Dado Upamecano. They nicked their manager, Julian Nagelsmann, and they now have signed Marcel Sabitzer. Now, Lewandowski behind Marcel Sabitzer, whom I think is very underrated. He does everything. He scores goals, he tracks back, he tackles, being a number 10, bundles of energy with the likes of Gnabry and Sane, and with the options of Goretzka over there, Musiala there as well, coming on as a super sub more often than not. A bit of Greenwood in him, left foot, right foot, can play in either of the wings up front as well. Uh, it was already a terrific squad. It is just a bit more industrious squad as well. So talent and hard work go same to same, and Barcelona fans, seriously, like their misery goes from bad to worse, drawing Bayern Munich in the Champions League group. Like, not even inshallah will save them right now. Seriously.
But it's interesting.
Abs-
Bayern tend to raid the domestic clubs. Like it was Dortmund 10 years ago with Götze, Lewandowski, Hummels, being snatched, and now it's Leipzig's turn to get raided.
Harsh, it was same for United as well. We snapped in Teddy Sheringham from Tottenham. We snapped in Andy Cole. Couldn't get Shearer. It was the same in the Premier League as well because
Van
we were the top
Persie,
dogs back then. Van Persie,
Van
we were the
Persie.
top dogs back then. But with the Premier League dividends being paid on TV deals, it has changed the game entirely. That is why a Declan Rice or a Harry Maguire can cost around 100 million. Because if they don't sell, they don't care.
Yep,
Other than
and
that, clubs used to suffer.
that's why Leeds United can buy Dan James for 30 odd million.
Dan James will be a very good signing for them because Dan James, when he has space to run, he's a very devastating player. We saw that in the Euros. But in a team as compactly defended against as Manchester United, he doesn't have the creativity or the final pass. So he'd always be a good squad player, like a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond kind of a theory. So same goes for Jack Grealish. I don't know he'll be the main man at Man City. He'll be a very decent player. But Dan James will be one of the main men. With him and Rafinha, they have tremendous space and they'll break teams down on the count, especially what Bielsa loves. People pressing, and Dan James can do that in abundance. We got a very good deal, 30 odd million. We balanced the books on Ronaldo, and we already sold so many jerseys and merchandise and tickets that have been selling at for like breakneck prices. That is a very good marketing deal as well. That will probably increase our stocks as well. But probably for me, the signing of the season has to be Leon Bailey in terms of applicability, in terms of attraction, and in terms of making sense. The Ronaldo deal does not make sense. Come on, but Leon Bailey was fantastic. Like, he's a very good player that I admire, and he'll do very well for Aston Villa.
that very much sums up the whole transfer window, guys. I know we have missed out on a few things for sure because there has been so much happening. But obviously, when you want to speak a lot about the transfers in a short time, we need to get it compact. So that was very sweet. That was very compact by both our guests today, Harsh and Neil. When you look at them speak, you can see the knowledge and the passion for the game. So thanks, guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you to all the audience. You are still commenting. Daniel James could be a useful addition to Leeds. That's the last comment from Sam. Obviously, he has the pace, he has the vigor, and obviously Leeds try to always attack from the front. So it's going to be interesting. The Premier League has just begun. Obviously, it's an international break now. It will be back, and obviously we'll be seeing all the new signings in the Premier League right in action, because after that, we are going to have a continued spell of games. So thank you again, guys. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you again very soon on this channel. For the audience, please keep supporting us, and we'll be back very soon. Thank you.